So should you improve or accept yourself? Well, whenever we're dissatisfied with ourselves, that leaves us with a seemingly absurd paradox. The first option you can do is to accept yourself through self-compassion and be content with the situation in life that you're currently in. Or you can improve, become a better version of yourself so that you'll eventually, hopefully, get rid of those feelings of insecurities and insufficiencies. And these two paths, they may seem contradictory, but as we'll discover in this video, I'll talk about how they are not contradictory and how actually self-acceptance is the necessary precursor for self-improvement to occur. What even is self-acceptance? I think a lot of us Western folks have a very wrong image on what it means to accept oneself. To accept oneself doesn't mean to get lazy and complacent at where you are at in life. It means to actually embrace life and to understand the realistic circumstance that you're in, and to understand both your strengths and weaknesses in order for healthy self-improvement to occur. Because if you aren't willing to accept who you are, both in terms of your weaknesses, strengths, prides, insufficiencies, everything about you, then you're not going to be able to improve from a place of self-love. Rather, you'll be motivated to improve from a place of self-hatred, where you haven't accepted your flaws and you're constantly trying to get rid of them. And perhaps one of the main reasons why we're not able to accept ourselves is because we mistake self-acceptance with self-complacement. And this is a big part due to just the Western paradigm of philosophy and religion and pretty much everything our society is predicated upon, where we are more living for the perfect ideal in order to be happy, to become the best version of ourselves, to live the best possible life that we can, instead of the Eastern philosophies, religions, and the paradigms over there, which are more in a way of embracing reality as it is, instead of the Western paradigm, which is more about chasing the future ideal and making reality perfect. And you know, what is perfect and the ideal, that is obviously not a real thing in the present moment. So that is why we're always not content with ourselves and always striving for more. And I think we can look at the Eastern philosophies to get a bit better understanding of actually how to accept ourselves and why that is crucial in order to improve. And in contradiction to Western philosophies, Eastern philosophies such as Taoism, Buddhism, Hinduism, and Confucianism, there's always this united element of living in accordance with nature and embracing reality as it is. Let's, for example, take Zen. Zen is a discipline within Buddhism, which is all about, exactly what I said, embracing reality as it is. And even the word Zen means what can't be described, because Zen is literally the human experience of being alive and being present without actually, the human mind interpreting reality. It's simply existing. So according to the way of Zen, reality isn't something to be described, it's something that must be experienced. And I just wanted to bring up the dichotomy between Eastern and Western thought just to illustrate how important it is to accept and embrace reality as it is, including yourself, which is why we're living in such a consumeristic society where we're always looking for more instead of actually appreciating what we already have. So with that said, let's get into how you actually can accept yourself, which paradoxically also will improve yourself. First thing you can do in order to accept yourself is to expose yourself to self-acceptance philosophy, which is exactly what you're doing in this video, so congratulations for taking that step. Another way of practicing self-acceptance is through mindfulness meditation. Mindfulness meditation serves as a reminder to be present in the now, instead of regretting the past or worrying about the future. And when you are immersed in the now, all thoughts cease to exist, and we accept reality as it is without necessarily casting judgments about how reality should be, which we are so good at. I absolutely love meditation. I've done it almost daily for like 3 years now. And if you want to do it for free, I mean, you can obviously just sit down and close your eyes and feel the breath consciously while you're being aware of your thoughts that enter your awareness, your consciousness. There's also easier ways to do it, especially for beginners, which is to do guided meditation sessions, which I would highly recommend. And I know that Medito is a free meditation app which has a lot of great free meditation sessions that you can follow along with. So yeah, check out Medito and try to make meditation a daily practice if self-acceptance is something that you're attempting to. Another way of practicing self-acceptance is through self-exploration. So in order to first accept who you are, you first have to know who you are. And how can you know who you are? That is by becoming more aware of your thoughts, your feelings, your unconscious desires, your wants, your insecurities, your prides, every aspect about yourself. And that is done through introspective exercises, where you delve into your subconscious thoughts and feelings. And some of these exercises are introspective journaling, meditation, which we just covered, and deep conversations with someone you trust, for example, a family member, a friend, or a therapist. And this is definitely a crucial step to accept yourself, especially talking with others, because you might have accumulated a lot of toxic shame throughout your childhood, where you have certain insufficiencies, where you don't think you're good enough, which is the reason why you're on self-improvement in the first place. But by talking with people that genuinely care for you and want you to be better, then you'll actually realize that your insecurity actually isn't as bad of a hindrance in real life as you think, and that people love you and accept you for who you are. You just have to put yourself out there and be courageous and show them your insufficiencies, or what you perceive as your insufficiencies. Another great way of understanding yourself through self-exploration is through introspective journaling. And that is the process of writing about your feelings and thoughts. This can be done by just having a journal or a notebook and writing how am I feeling and why, and then you attempt to try to answer that question in full depth, which is really hard, but you're probably going to understand more about why you think the way you do and possibly how you can change it as well. So self-exploration can definitely be helpful for self-acceptance. Now over to the next point, self-compassion. This is the one that I've struggled the most with. I'm really good at most other things, but I am really critical towards myself. And that can come from just the increasing amount of self-awareness that you gain throughout years of journaling, throughout talking to people about your insecurities, and also through meditation, where you're over time getting more consciously aware of your thought patterns and the way that you think. That can definitely become harmful if you are too self-aware and you have self-critical thoughts all the time. And that is the reason why it's so crucial to develop the virtue, we can say, of self-compassion. And self-compassion just means to be able to talk to yourself in a loving and caring and supporting way when you are in need of it, especially when you are in emotional distressing times. And in order to silence, or at least to lower the voice of our inner critic, which is inside of our head and constantly judging us for not being good enough, we must learn to speak to ourselves in a helpful and supportive manner, such as a good friend would do to us. We can practice the habit of self-compassion by speaking to ourselves as a supporting friend, which can be most effectively done by writing. Writing makes us both more conscious and more intentional with our thoughts, compared to merely just thinking them. And thus, an effective exercise for practicing self-compassion is by writing a self-compassionate letter towards yourself. This is a letter you write. You can write it with a pen. Let me get this pen, or on your PC. Doesn't really matter. But what matters is that you write the letter in the second person view, which means to refer to yourself in the you pronoun instead of the I. So writing like, I know that you're feeling this way and you're having a hard time, but you are this and you are that and you've done this before, so that is evidence for you actually being able to accomplish this, and this doesn't determine your worth, etc., compared to writing in the form of I. So you're going to write a letter towards yourself from the perspective of a supporting friend in that second field of view regarding the difficulties that you're currently dealing with. You can either write this self-compassionate letter whenever you require it emotionally, or you can set aside a specific time of the day to slowly cultivate the habit of speaking compassionately to yourself. And you deserve it as well. The last thing you can do in order to accept yourself entirely is through practicing self-care. Self-care is more of a physical version of self-compassion, where instead of talking to yourself as a supporting friend, you're actually acting in a way that shows that you respect yourself and that you care for yourself. And some acts of self-care include eating nutritiously, exercising regularly, getting adequate amount of sleep, and setting boundaries with yourself and other people. I know that self-care can seem selfish for the caring person that is used to setting other people's needs in front of their own, but setting boundaries and prioritizing your health doesn't need to come at the cost of helping others. Rather, prioritizing your own health will consequently improve the amount of support you can give to those you care about, because you're going to be more happy and you're going to have more energy to give. And here for a practical summary of this video, understand that self-acceptance is a necessary first step in order for healthy improvement to occur, where you are motivated by self-love instead of self-hatred. And self-acceptance is also a process that can be improved upon over time by habitually practicing self-exploration, self-compassion, self-care, and exposing yourself to self-acceptance philosophies. And practical ways of accepting yourself includes practicing mindfulness meditation to live in the present and embrace reality, to practice self-exploration through introspective journaling where you write about your thoughts and feelings, to practice self-compassion by talking to yourself as a supportive friend by, for example, writing a compassionate letter, and practicing self-care by treating yourself as someone you are responsible for helping, because you are, which can be done by eating nutritiously, training regularly, getting sufficient rest, and setting boundaries. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked the video, please like the video. If you didn't like the video, dislike the video and tell me in the comment section below what I can do to improve. Subscribe if you haven't, a lot more content coming, and check out my website for articles such as this video right here and free content, and to book a free call with me if you just need some advice or just need someone to talk to. And yeah, it's been Magnus Backen. Peace.